Hello again. So I set the latency to ultra low so that I get immediate responses and you people get the least delay. So I guess this should be fine now. Hi, Node. How's it going? I also apologize for the train. Does it sound good? Cool. Let's wait for another 4 minutes and we'll start. Hey there, Hunchel. Yes, I will be posting this. Of course, with some edits and cuts. Hello, Ayush. A minute and we'll go. I'll make an announcement on the server. A link to the stream. I don't stream on Twitch yet. At least I haven't planned to. Alright, I think it's time. So, hello world. Welcome to my first live stream ever. Disclaimer, since this is my first stream, I'll probably make a lot of mistakes, take a lot of pauses, and stutter a lot. So take this as an advanced apology for those things. And with that away, let's look at the problem we have today. It's a simple one where you need to read from the command line a string that will be containing two numbers, let's say like 5 and 1, separated by comma. The program should output the division of the two numbers. That's it. That's for the problem statement. And we'll see how we can gracefully handle the errors that occur at each step of the process. So let's start with reading from the command line. Right. So I'll say let input equals, there's this function instead env args, which returns an iterator over the arguments that will be passed to the program. And the first one on the command line, whenever you pass, whenever you run a program, the command line will always contain the name of the program as the first item. So we want to skip over that. So on iterators, there's this method called skip, and I want to skip over one element. And after that is what will be the input to our program. So I would like to run my program like cargo run whatever. Yeah, this should be it. If I run it now, we haven't done anything with the argument, so it's just hello world for now. But okay, so I can say next. So it returns an option of the item contained in the iterator. So command line will be items of strings, and calling next on an iterator of strings is going to give us an option of string. Why an option? It's because there might not be any string, right? So I don't know, for some reason there is a huge delay on my terminal. Let's wait. See if I have any questions on the chat. Nothing yet. Okay. Yeah, so I could also run this. And in this case, I did not supply any command, any argument. So in that case, the next would return a none variant, meaning that there was nothing passed to it. So this is our input. We'll immediately exit the program if we weren't given any string as input. So let's do a match on input. Match on input. Oh, let's do it this way. Actually, I can do match on this one. And I can immediately say if it's a sum of x, maybe, then it's going to be x. If it's a none, then we're going to print to standard error that no input was given. Right, and also exit the program. There's the process exit. Yeah, okay. Code will be -1. If that's not the case, then let's, oh, there's still a problem. Error expected. Else. See what's the problem? Cargo 1. This delimiter might not be properly closed. Oh, okay. Add a this here. All right, so if I format it now, okay, cargo run. All right, so no input was given. Okay, that seems to be working. All right, I am facing delay again. A delay. Okay, so let's print the line. Okay. Input. Input. All right. Cargo R. Yeah. But if I give it like this, cool. We did read it, right? And it's also Let's run cargo clippy. The end of one. Oh, okay. That's a cool suggestion. Instead of like skipping over and then doing a next, it's actually asking me to do it this way. So it's gonna be next, and all right, remove the extra argument. Oh, sorry, it's gonna be end. My bad. All right, input. Okay, so we got the input. Now let's step through the operations that we need to do to transform this string into the result that we want, which is the division of 5 by 1, which will result in 5, right? So the first thing we need to do is split the string. So let's write down the signatures of each of the functions that will be corresponding to one step of the process. So first it's going to be split. It's going to take a string, and what is it going to return? So in the ideal case, it's going to return a pair of string. So it's going to be string and string, right? Okay, so after that, we need to do a, what do we need to do? So after that, we get a pair of string. So now I will write a parse function, which will take a pair of strings. So let's call it string s pair. We'll look at the names later. And oh, sorry, it's it's going to be a pair of string. And what is it going to do? It's going to return a pair, but this time of I32s. So basically, it's going to transform the two strings into numbers, right? I32, right? So yeah, since this is complaining, I'll just add a to do in there. To do, right? All right, so after parsing, we need to divide, right? We need to divide the numbers in the pair. So it's going to be, I'll make this function take an integer pair. So let's call it I pair. And it's going to take the same I32, like whatever is here, right? And it's going to return 932 back, right? So we'll add another to do here. All right, so this seems to be running. I don't know why there's a delay. Okay. All right, no input was given. So if I do, all right, okay. Okay, now it's time to think of what could go wrong. Let's start with the divide operation. What could go wrong here? Yes, that's pattern matching, Jay. Okay, so division. What could go wrong is the second thing, the second item could be a 0, and when you divide by a 0, you're gonna hit an exceptional case where when you divide by a 0, you don't actually have a value to provide to the caller, right? It's just the computation itself is not possible. In other languages, you could throw an exception or just leave it that way, so and let your program crash at runtime. Since there are no exceptions in Rust, which I think is an amazing thing, we have to express the failure or the fact that we don't have a good value to return in the types, right? So this divide should say that for some value, in this case, for the second argument being 0, second item of the tuple being 0, we don't have a nice value to return. So to encompass that, we have a type called option. So the return type was going to be option of I32. What this means is that the return value of this function is either a sum of I32 or it's a none. If you look at what option is, it has two variants, either none or it's a sum. Don't worry about the other boilerplate. Just concentrate. You need to just look at the sum and none variants. So sum contains the type, none contains nothing. It is like null, but it is not as bad. Well, you can't compare it. Like option is a lot better than a null. So yeah, so this is how you say that a function in Rust does not have a meaningful value to return for certain inputs. Okay, so how do we implement this? First, let's destructure the input to let a comma b equals I pair. And you can actually destructure right here, a comma b like this. And we want to check if b equals 0, then I want to return a none, right? Which is a valid value of this type, right? Option is an enumeration which has two valid values. Either it's none or it's a sum of a value of this type, right? So if b equals 0, I'll return a none, or I'll return a sum of a divided by b. Right. Let's actually do some TDD and write some tests. So CFG test, is this how it's written? I guess so. And then mod tests. Mod tests. Let's see if I remember the test syntax. So I'll write a test. Div by 0. Fn div by 0. This says that assert eq divide by, I need to supply a pair. Let's do 1 over 0. This is equal to none. All right, so now, okay, cannot find div. All right, so I guess I need to just import everything in the upper module, in the parent module. I created a module here, and whatever is defined above it will not be accessible in here. So I just use superstar, means import everything in the parent module. So I get the div thing here. So if I do cargo t, cool, it says one test passed, and okay, fn div, let's say div by 0, it's already there, div by non-zero, I'm gonna say 1 divided by 1, and this is going to be sum of 1, right? And there we go. Okay, that works. Oh, well, before I proceed further, what we can see here is that split, All right, let's assume that we first pass it valid values and call call the functions, right? So I'll write another function to perform to combine, right? To actually get the computation out of the value that was passed to us on the command line. I'll call it perform, and this takes the input, which is going to be a string, and it's going to return an I32. It will change soon, I know that. So first it's going to do a split of string, and then it's going to do a parse, right? Parse, and then it's going to do a divide, right? Mismatch types. Okay, so mismatch types, because div is going to return an option, right? And this is I32, so let's actually turn this into an option. Okay, this is not S, this is input. All right, so here I'm just gonna pass the, I'll just print line input is this, print line output is going to be perform of input. Okay, unterminated. Oh, so sorry, I have this thing here because of this opening bracket. What's the problem? Let's see, cargo run. Expected. Oh, I can't call. A function inside there. Perform. It was already there. Right, and press. Oh, maybe this works. No, I don't know. Press. Okay, seems like I can't call a function inside those braces. Okay, so if this is the case, no input was given. All right, let's also get rid of those warnings. FS, but just, okay, should be fine. All right, no input was given, but if I give like phi1, okay, it panicked because, okay, so naively, let's just implement what these functions do. So I just want to do s.split, right? And the pattern is a comma. And what this is going to return is an iterator, and I will just collect it into is a serverfish operator. It's going to be a pair of string. I don't know if I can do this. A value of type. I don't think I can convert it into that. Required by cannot be built from cert. Okay, but I can actually collect it into a vec of strings. Well, let's do it for now. Let's do this. YW this vec of string mismatch types, and I will collect this into let SS. Sorry for the names. I don't know how to take the two values. I could do ss dot. Wait, I could, you know, I could call dot take of 2. And then collect into a rack of strings. Okay, so I could do ss of 0 and ss of 1. A value, okay, I don't see that error. A value of cannot be built from, oh, okay. Okay, so it's saying that when it, after splitting, I get an iterator of string slices. Let's see if I have some questions here. What is some, sorry. Yeah, I'll probably make an entire video talking about sum and options and results. The goal here is to just show how error handling is very ergonomic in Rust compared to other languages. All right, so here I want to convert the string slices to owned values. So I can do that by doing a map of string from and then .collect. Okay, if I, all right, cannot move out of, cannot, okay. Okay, now the thing is, okay. I'll do it the hacky way. So I'll pop the items of the vector. I'll say 1 equals, there's actually 2. When I pop it, it actually comes from the back. So ss.pop. And I'll do it this way for now. And then I'll unwrap. I'm not dealing about, as I said, let's just talk about the happy path first. It's going to be a string, and then I'm going to return 1, and then a 2. So before we test this, right, cannot borrow ss is immutable. Okay, so I have to declare this as mutable. Try character instead. Try using it. Oh, okay. All right, that should be fine. Split on character. Okay, so let's write a test for our split. It looks like I have a question. Can't you destructure array into values a comma b? I don't think I can, but we can definitely try. So what has a question? What Vim plugin do you use for those inline error messages? It's a bunch of plugins. I had to look it up for getting Rust LSP working correctly on new Vim. I have my dot files on GitHub. I'll link them later in the description of the video. So let's write a test as test function split, right? Let's just test the happy path. So if I give it like 5, 52, and 3, then it should, this should be split of dot to owned, because it needs to be a string. This should be equal to tuple of 50 string. Oh, there's a lot of boilerplate here. 52 to string to owned and 3.to owned. Okay. Mismatched closed delimiter. Okay. Function defined here. Oh. Okay. Does this work? Function defined here. There's still an error. What is the error? Wait, what is the error? Function cargo T. Oh, okay. Expected found tuple. Expected. What? What does it return? It returns a string. Expected unit type found tuple. Wait, what's wrong? Okay. And what does split return? Oh, okay. Splitter. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, seems like it's working. All right, so let's also implement parse and parse. Oh yeah, yeah, it was the same test function. You know, first stream nervousness. Thanks. Okay, parse. What is it going to do? Is basically, yeah. Let's destructure this. Let's call it A and then B, and here is going to be A.parse into I32, and it's going to return a result. We'll talk about them pretty soon. B.parse of I32. Okay, mismatched types. Why is that? Oh, so I have to unwrap again. Yeah, this one works. So I do. Let's also do a test for parse. Parser. YY for JP parser, and it's gonna be minus t dot. It's gonna be parse and let one equals string for, oh, I hate these inline hint from string from one. Okay, I don't need this, so let's say parse of 1, 1 dot clone, and here it's going to be 1 and 1. Move. Maybe I need to do this here. Okay, that works. So if I do cargo test, okay, everything's passing. All right, so we've got an implementation which deals with a few of the errors that could happen, but it doesn't deal with a lot of the errors that could happen. So what are they? First is that a split takes a string and it takes any string. So a string could be that there's no comma, or there are multiple commas, or there are yeah, there are commas. It's just resulting in after you do a split, it's resulting in multiple numbers, more than 2 numbers. All of those are invalid strings for this domain, right? And parse obviously could go wrong, because what if I enter? What if I let's run this program? What if I enter cargo R? What if I do it this way, right? So 1a cannot be parsed into a valid number, so our program's gonna crash, right? It's a kind invalid digit, right? It's gonna crash. So we're not handling these kinds of cases. But before we actually handle those, just look at how the pipeline is. First thing we need to do is a split, right? This is the first thing we need to do. And the second, we do a parse, and you can look at the types. The resulting type of a split is exactly the same as the result as the input type of parse. And the same way, the result type, the return type of parse is the same as the input type of diff. That's why we could write our perform in this way, right? You just call, because all of those are composable. Output of one function acts as input to another. When you have such functions, we call them composable functions, and those kinds of functions result in clean code. There's not. You can read it as a pipeline. Of course, here you have to read from the inside out, but we'll transform this eventually. But that's composition. So now, the problem with this code is that it's not handling the errors. Once we do handle the errors, this composition is going to break, but only for a while, right? Before I go further, I want to take a look at the chat. Okay. What would happen if you don't include a comma in your input? Yes, an error would occur. Let's also perform that and see. Cargo R, if I don't include a comma, right? It's gonna just say, where am I unwrapping? It's probably unwrapping here, right? So it's going to cause an error. Because I did not have a comma, the only thing that this vector had was this one string, 51a. So I popped it once, right? And then there was nothing else to pop from the vector. It crashed. So we need to account for those errors now. So if you remember, the way we tackled the possibility of our function not having a valid value to return for certain inputs is that we wrapped the return type into an option to account for the absence of a good return value for certain inputs, right? We'll do the same thing. We'll do the same thing. So this could go wrong. So I'll make it into an option. And I am finding this inline things to be a little annoying. So I'll just stop this. LSP stop. All right, that's better. And probably also, yeah. Okay, so again, parse could fail, right? We should return an option here as well. So I'm going to do option of I32. Okay. Now, we also need to code our functions to return an option. This is not going to just work because we changed the return type. We'll also need to change the implementation to make it work. So how do we do that? Okay, we'll probably clean up this later, but for now, let's say I want to do this. I want to match on ss.pop and then ss.pop. Sorry, not poop. It's okay. So if both are sums, right? If both are sums, if it's a sum of A and if it's a sum, and if the second one is also sum of is sum of B, then we want to return a sum of A comma B, right? And if it's anything else, right, we know it's a none. So let's get rid of this. So now we also need to change our tests. Divide by 0. Okay, that's splitter, right? Splitter. Where is splitter? Here. So let s equals like this, string from, right? If I CIB split of s, so let's also put this 52 equals string from 52. Right, and it's gonna be 3. I could have written smaller numbers, but anyway, 52, and then it's gonna be 3. It's not gonna be this, it's actually gonna be sum of 3, right? And okay, let's also comment all of the other functions. Let's perform needs to change, so I'll just comment these things. All right. Hey, Justin. It's going very well. Also, hello, Sile. Okay. So cargo T. Something went wrong here. So I changed all the types. So these tests also need to change. So instead of this, it needs to be some. It's easy for now because we didn't do. I mean, we only accounted for the happy cases. Expected tuple found integer. Okay, why is that? Oh, I see. Okay, damn delay. It's someone. It's gonna be. Where is that? It's gonna be, yeah. So I need to do CIB. Still a problem. Yeah, that's also CIB. Expected and found tuple. Okay, so this parse unwrap something. Which line is that? 15G. Yeah, I'll just comment this out and just return a none for now. It's gonna fail the test, but that's okay, I guess. 9 capital G. Oh, so here saying, yeah, it needs to be a tuple. Unnecessary parentheses. Oh yeah, these are unnecessary parentheses, but compilation. Okay, perform not found. Okay, so perform not found, so I'll just comment this one out. Let's just concentrate on the test. Rest not found. Oh god. All right, 2 passed, 2 failed. That's okay. Okay, so now we have changed our return types. We're yet to implement those things. But you can see that I cannot, right? Okay, I should have shown you that. So if I go back here and then uncomment this stuff, it's going to say expected tuple found enum option, right? So now the functions are no longer composable. You see that initially they split output a type that was the input to parse, and then parse output a type that was input to div, and that made them composable. I could just call one after the other, feeding the output of one to the input of another. But now that's broken. Now the return type of split is actually an option of something that will go as input to parse. Now it's not just that, it's not the direct thing, now it's just inside the box, right? So same way, the output type of parse is a box wrapping a type that is the input to div. We just need, okay, before that, we will need to implement our parse and then have a way of getting the things out of the box and then feeding it to the next function, right? So let's implement parse. Okay, so what will this be? I will need to do a parse. I'll again use pattern matching. This time no unwraps. And again, no unwraps. So in this case, if they're both okay, right? If they're both okay. If it's okay of X and okay of Y, then I want to return a sum of X comma Y. In any other case, it's going to be a none, right? So parse, maybe it works. Let's see if I do cargo T. Yeah, so our perform no longer works, so I'll just uncomment that. Comment that. Oh god, so I'll comment these two as well. Okay, 3 passed and 1 failed. Failures test splitter. Okay, splitter, why did it fail? 52. Oh, sorry. So I meant to do it like wait. Oh. Yeah, actually I have to return a B and then an A because pop actually goes from the reverse, right? Oh, cool. Now it works. Beautiful. Now our next task is to make this thing work. This will stop compiling now. Let's actually write a test for it. Fn perform test is going to be performer. Let's call it performer. Assert EQ of perform. String is going to be 5 and 1. 5 and 1. Okay, so I also need to do a dot to owned, and this should be a sum of sum of 5, right? For consistency, just have semicolons everywhere. Cargo T. Okay. Some errors. Div expected tuple. Oh, okay. So yeah. The problem is us not being able to currently take the thing out of the box. So for example, we have an option containing a pair of strings, and then we need to pass the contained element into parse, right? What do we do if there's nothing? We know it's a failure, so we just propagate the nothing. If there is a something, we give that something to parse, and then parse does its thing and returns another box, meaning an option containing another pair. In its case, it's going to be a pair of integers. So now the magic method which will do that is called and then. So split, let's do it like this: split input dot and then, and then which function do we want to perform next? We want to do split and then parse, right? And then we need to do div. Let's hope this works. Cargo T. Okay. Assert EQ perform 77. Yeah. So it's gonna be like this. Cargo T. Line 30. Wait, what just happened? What? Where did my... Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll just copy this and then split and then parse dot and then of div. Okay, Cargo T. Beautiful. It is working. So you see, this one is reading so much better, and also it is handling the errors for us. I'm not going to write the erroneous case tests, but we can do it. We can run it and see for ourselves, right? If I run 51A, oh, so I'm actually not calling this. So now if I run this, see, output's none, so it can't do anything. Let's try with just this. Right? It's a none. But if I do like 3, it should be a sum of 17. Let's also do the error reporting correctly. So I can do match. I'll say let text equals match res, or I don't even need the res, so I just need the caller. Sorry, I just need the function. If it's a sum of value, then I'm gonna say this thing. If it's none, then I'm gonna say ePrint line couldn't perform couldn't perform the operation. Perform the operation. And yeah, I don't need to exit because it's the last line. If I help probably. Wait, so I don't need. I guess I don't need to store this in a. Okay. Res output. In this case, there's no res. It's going to be value, and it also doesn't need the debug print. Okay. If there's an error, then it couldn't perform the operation. Great. I think we've accomplished the error handling and also cleaning our piece of code here. This just, to me, looks beautiful. Split and then parse and then div. It couldn't get any better. But where's all the error handling? We managed to abstract the error handling into the option type. So and then is a method on option which does the job of taking what's in the box, what's in the, like, I see option as a box most of the time, but there's also a box type in Rust, so I don't want to make I don't want to get people confused there. Anyway, so option has a method which is responsible for taking what's contained in it and supplying that to the incoming function, right? If there is nothing in the in the option, it doesn't do anything. It just exits. It just gives you back a none, right? So if split fails, right, split returns an option, and if by split failing, it means that split returned a none variant. Now, and then is not going to do anything but return that none back. So it's not going to pass it to parse because there is nothing to pass, because there's nothing inside the option to pass to parse. So it just breaks out there immediately. And same case here. So and then parse again returns an option, right? And that option again has the and then method over it, which is, grabber of the contained type and giver of the contained type, giver of the contained type to the incoming function, right? So at any point, if there's an error, it just exits. In the sense, it returns a none, exits the function by returning a none. So this is wonderful, right? But how happy are you with a software that just says that it couldn't do a thing, right? What could it not do? We don't have that information. So this is okay. I mean, we managed to handle the errors, but we at this point, when the stuff comes back from perform, we have lost the information about where the error has occurred, right? So there is a way around this, and we do not have to lose anything. Our code can still remain the same way, but we can again, abstract away the error handling part into some other place and keep our logic, right? This is the main logic of our code, right? If you think of the happy path, you are splitting, parsing, and then dividing, right? That's what's happening here. And you don't see anything but that. Of course, you have and then, but how hard is it to, read? It actually is easier to read, if you ask me. So we can keep our code the same way, but we can still manage to tell the user that parsing went wrong, or splitting went wrong, or it was a division by 0, right? We'll do that. I'll take a small break and be back. So see you guys soon. All right, I'm back. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Thomas Anderson asking what kind of online editor is this? It's not online, it's just my terminal. I'm using NeoVim and Tmux. Some dude's asking what the font is. It's Victor Mono. Yeah, it's not ISFCA, it's Victor Mono. It's the same font that Soding uses. Yeah, I do know Soding. I do follow him. Great dude. Yeah, it's not the same font. You could add specific error messages for each function. Yes, and the way we do it is with the result type. Okay, so time to change our options to results. Yay. Okay, so if I do a result type like this, I should say it's sum and sorry, it's going to be okay, or it's going to be error. Error of, okay. So unlike option took only one type, right? With the type that will be inside the option. And if there wasn't anything, it already had that information. Well, it's lack of information. And then in that case, the option would be a none, like an empty box. But result takes two types. One is the type that is okay. The other that is the type error. So either it could be okay of something, or it could be some error type, right? So what I'll do, let's start with creating our own error type. It's going to be an enum. It's going to be enum error, maybe error. I guess I'll call it error. It's fine. So enum error. Split is one, parse is one, and division by 0. So division by 0 is another. Right. So now first is, of course, we have the okay of pair of strings, and the error type is going to be error. And the same thing here. It's going to be result, and the error type will be parse error. Sorry, whatever, it was just error. And here it's going to be, instead of sum, it's going to be okay, and it's going to be, yeah, I'll have to complete that one either, that one also. So it's going to be error. So what's it going to be? Error of parse, error parse. Right? Yeah. So it's going to be error split, error of split, and then here it's going to be okay, and this error of error division by 0. All right, we'll also need to change the return type of perform. It's going to be result, and okay. All right. We'll also need to change our tests. Instead of none, it's going to be error of error division by 0, and this is going to be okay of 1, and this is gonna be okay. Also, this one's gonna be okay. All right, let's see if our tests work. Tests do not work. Oh, result of I32. So it's line 36. Result of I32. It's gonna be error. Derived debug. Error cannot be formatted. Okay. So yeah, I'll just I have something here. Deprive of debug. Okay. Also do eq and partial eq. These are just saying that my type is comparable for equality, not less than or greater than. It's just saying that my type can be compared with another if they're equal. Okay, so cargo T, still a problem. Found enum result. That is weird. Did I change the div? Oh, okay, I did not change the div. So option is going to be result, and this is going to be error cargo T. So perform, right? Perform. Yeah, now it's going to be interesting. So it's going to be error of E, right? So it's going. I can match on an E, and here I can say that what kind of error it was. So there are three types, right? Error of parse, and let's do this. Error of split, and error of division by 0. Right. So here it would say couldn't split, and couldn't parse a string, couldn't parse into a number, couldn't parse into numbers. Okay, and here is going to be can't divide by 0. Okay, so expected enum result, is it so it's okay of value. Beautiful, it's working. So I hope everyone's clear. I'm going to take a look at the chat if I have anything. I don't have anything. So I'll proceed. Okay. Now, we only changed the return types, but we're now able to report what went wrong, right? So actually we didn't test it. So let's say cargo run. It's gonna say couldn't parse. Oh, so could be a little misleading, but what's happening here is that an empty string is going to be passed as a number. So it did split it. That's why when during parsing it couldn't parse an empty string into a number. That's why this error. But if I give it like this, it's going to say couldn't split. Okay. Now I see another problem with this. We're actually allowing people to arbitrarily give any number of numbers, but it will still say that it's okay. So if I give like 51 and then 3 and then 4, right? if I understand my implementation correctly, it's gonna be 51 by 3, 17. Okay, so let's actually write it in a way that we don't allow users to supply any number of numbers separated by commas. And the way we do that is, I'll take 3 of these. So take actually can have any number, but it's only going to take as much as it can. So I'm gonna do like 3 pops here. So this has to be the third, okay, the way it performs, I think, yeah, this has to be a none, no. Okay, so it popped once. Yeah, this has to be a none. This has to be a none. So it's gonna be a B. Just for clarity, I'll do it this way. Maybe the other one was clear for others. Well, we'll see if we messed up anything. So if I do cargo T, we failed one. Test splitter. Panic that assertion failed. Left equals right. Oh, we got or oh, maybe, okay, let's do it this way. Maybe this is none. I think it has to be none here. Oh, cool, it works. So I thought that it's a comma, and I faintly remember that commas are right associative, so I thought it would perform this one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's also write parse. Okay, what if I do like cargo run, cargo R? Yeah, okay, it's working. Now we just allowed the string to be only 2 numbers, right? Okay. Okay, so I do remember that there is one more thing that I want to discuss, which is there's still a problem, which is that if I want to like call this divide, right? If I want to call the divide, say, what is the type signature saying? It's type signature saying that it's either going to be a successful result in a successful computation, result in a successful computation of an I32, or it's going to fail with an error, which is not exactly right, because we know that other than division by 0, this function is not going to return any other type, right? But that's not the case here. I mean, if you look at the return type, it says that it could return any error type, which is not true. So this is the type is not tight. So I'm allowing, so this is valid type, but the intentions aren't conveyed properly. There's actually a problem with this. So let's say I want to test a division operation. So I'll just write a random division operation here. Match div. Also, let's change the function name. It's not just div. It's a safe division. So let's call it search all of these. Percent s. Change all of these to safe div. G, right? Okay, let's see everything. Maybe I wrote something there and did not complete. Okay, so safe div, let's say of 1, 0, right? What will it return? It returns an error type. So I'll have to say either okay of value, then I will print line of Yeah, I'll just print it. Print value result of division. Result of safe division is value. Value. Right. If it's an error type, I can't be sure. I mean, I know as a programmer, I know, but that's not the contract. I mean, that's not concretely communicated by the contract. So this error type could be any of the split, parse, or division by zero error, right? So I would have to, like, if I wanted to be completely sure as a user of that function, I'd have to match on E. I'd have to match on E, and here I'll have to say that it's either division by zero, then the same thing here. Rest of the things let's not care for now, because that doesn't even make sense, right? It's not even going to reach here. Unreachable. Let's call it unreachable. Right. So let's try to run it. Let's try to run it. So div, I think safe div of, yeah, I need to give it a pair. Yeah. It couldn't divide by zero, right? If I have 1 here, it's gonna say result of safe division is 1. Cool. Now this is what I don't like, right? Like, why do I have to wildcard match this thing over when I know when it only makes sense for the safe division operator to result in this divide by zero error? Okay, I'm just distracted by the chat here. Let's see if I have any question. What plugin is the pop-up when you replace? It's not a plugin, it's a built-in behavior of NeoVim. I think you need to set a certain value. As I said before, I will link up the dot files later. Again, this is not ISFGA. This is the font. The font is Victor Mono. Okay. Right, so division by zero. Yeah, I was saying that I am not happy with the fact that I need to write this wildcard match here and say unreachable. Right, makes sense. So what we can do is we can define types for each of those. So I'll call a struct division by zero. And the same thing goes for here, goes with this one. So for split, we know that it's only going to return error split. I kind of wish that I could say that it's going to be, the return type is going to be error split, but that's invalid syntax, which would say that it could only return this type, I mean this variant, but there isn't such a thing. So we'll have to create separate types for them. Struct division by zero, and then there's struct split error, and then there's struct parse error, right? Parse error. Okay. Cool. And parse error, I think, would also make sense that it could hold the string that it couldn't parse. So I will make it this way, right? Now, the way we tighten these types is for this one, I will say result string, and it's going to be a parse, sorry, it's a split error, split error, and it's going to be split error. Yeah, here it's going to be a parse parse error, and here is going to be division by 0. Yeah. For uniformity, let's also make it like division by 0 error. Right. Now things are going to change a little bit. If I so I have to rewrite my tests accordingly. Tests accordingly. Test. Where are tests? Okay. Error division by 0. Oh, now this is going to simplify. So 1 by 0. It's going to be. Oh, also I need to probably just implement or derive the implementation for all of those traits. Maybe makes sense, right? If I do cargo run, okay, so it's gonna complain about something, but let's see. Let's do the tests first. So it's it's not even going to compile, I think. But anyway, let's rewrite them anyway. So here, if it's going to be division by 0 error, I can just test one test cargo t div the parse split due to previous errors, mismatched closing delimiter. Okay. Error. Oh, okay, so it still needs to be wrapped inside the error variant of the result. Required by, so our tests might, okay, so just to run our tests, I'll just comment wherever I'm matching on perform, where I'm calling the method perform, and also these things here, right? So if I do cargo test div, it's still, okay, so I also need to change the return type. So here it's not error split now, it's going to be error of split error, and here is going to be error of parse error. Oh, so okay, so if it's gonna be error, and I don't care what this one is, I'll say error of A. So if you look at the constructor of this, I have to like supply a string to it. That's what I'm doing here. So it's parse error of this, or if it's this p, then it's error of b. Okay, now we actually became more explicit on our error reporting strategy, which is, I think, better. And here it's going to be error, so I'm just going to delete this and then paste it. Yeah, I guess that works. Okay, cool. Perform not found. Assert EQ perform not found. I'll also need to comment the perform function call in the tests. Great. 2 passed, 0 failed. All right. Division by 0 converted in first in a case. I don't know what it's saying. Variants in the scene or never. Okay, so it's just complaining that they were never used. All right, so that's working. So we tightened our types, and our tests still work. Let's bring back the perform function call. Okay. Control V7J. All right, and then perform. Okay. All right, so we arrive at this error where it says that expected enum error found split error. And that's because if you look at the definition of and then for the result type, because split is returning a result and then I'm calling and then on that result, if you look at the return type of it, I'll probably start the LSP again. Yeah, it's gonna say, yeah, it's gonna take a function that that returns, so that it's gonna take a function that takes the value inside the result containing the OK of the result, and then it returns another result with the transformed value, but the same error type. You see here, this E and this E are the same. But in our case, those aren't the same, right? Because what split returns, the split result has the split error variant, and parse results variant has the error variant as parse error, and those are not the same. But that's a requirement, right? That's a requirement of the and then method call. So now you might think that we have lost that composition. We might have to make our code uglier. I guess it could be a little more verbose, but we're achieving something like nicer here. One thing is that for sure I don't need to match on the error type. I know it's always going to be it's always going to be division by 0, so I don't need to match on there. So I can just remove this. But how do we make this work again? Make this compose again? And that is by writing converters, right? So we need to be able to convert this and this and this, like all of the parse, split, and division by 0 errors into the error variant, right? That's at the that's going to be reported by the perform operation, right? So the perform actually needs to like take them all together and say what happened. So split can only return one error. Parse can return one type of error. Safediff can return one type of error. But perform is calling all of the three functions, so it should be able to tell what happened there, right? So to do that, we need to actually change this error to contain those errors, because now we have additional information for parse error where it's a string, right? So I can say the split actually contains the maybe that's okay. I'll just say parse, and then I could say it's a string. Parse defined here, and wherever. Let's see what's the problem. Let's see. Cargo C. What's the problem? First is that requires split error, and then yeah. If I would have scrolled through this, I wouldn't have had to go through the document, the source of Rust. But anyway, you can see here that it's saying errors need to compose. I mean, errors need to be the same. But what else is it saying? Error parse use tuple variant. Oh, okay. So it's complaining about where it was used. Here, it's gonna be string and couldn't parse s into a number. Okay, or I could just say s is not a number. All right. So now if I do cargo C, it's probably only going to complain about the composability of the error types, right? So let's try and fix them. Let's try and fix them. Here it's going to say mismatched types. So there is a way. There is a way to actually do that. But first we need to say that all of these can be converted to a single type, and that type is going to be our error up top, right? So the way we do that is by implementing the from trait. Use std convert from, I think. And we have to say that we have to tell Rust that it can convert this division by zero error to this error, like this enum. So it's going to be a little bit of boilerplate, but there are crates on crates.io that will help you do this. But since this is the sole purpose of this stream is to talk about how you do this from scratch, I will do it from scratch. So impl from. So we want to go from division by zero. Division is LSP started yet? Oh, it is started. So division by zero error, right? From division by zero error 4, we want to go from here to error. It's going to be fn from fn. I don't know why it's behaving like this. Maybe I'll quit it and relaunch main.rs. Yeah. fn. Yeah, so now it works. Right. So it's going to be self of division by zero. Right. And I need to do a similar thing. So division by zero happen, and also let's also do this for parse error. CIB fn from parse error is going to be, it's actually going to be parse error. E, maybe E.0 self. Let's see if that works. Parse, not EQ, parse of E.0. Okay. And then the other one is like split error, and it's gonna be, I'll just do this fn from split error. It's gonna be self of split. Okay, we don't have any errors so far, I guess. So now we just need to do this. I can do map error. So error from parse, right? Unexpected token. So it's gonna be, and then, okay, so it's gonna be result, and then I'll have to do another map error of error from map error. Well, I do agree that it's getting uglier at this point. Well, let's see. Error from type mismatching, FO. It's type mismatching. Let's read the error. Cargo C. Expected enum error found division by zero. I need to do another. Wait, what? Cargo. Expected enum error found struct parse error. Why is that? parser. Have I not implemented parser? I have. Okay. Let's see if I have anything on the chat. Fun begins. Hasn't it already begun? Oh, you mean the debugging. Okay, sorry. Okay, cargo C. Let's see. Cargo. Expected enum error. Found struct parse error. And then, oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. I cannot. I actually do not know how we can. Okay, so I understand the problem. The problem is, I'll have to do it this way. So pair. This is very ugly. I agree. This is very ugly. I agree. This is going to be, I think, yeah, pair. Parse, right? Parse of pair. Dot into. Does this work? Oh, okay. And then I probably will do a similar thing here. Save div of pair dot into. Huh. Oh, mismatching types. Let's see. Cargo C and trait bound. Something is happening. What? Okay. Cargo C. The trait bound from result division by 0 is not from result I32. From result I32 division by 0 error. Is not implemented for result error. Why is that? What is that's so weird. If I don't say into, right? Try wrapping into. Dot okay. Okay. Let press equals okay of rest. Arguments to this enum variant are incorrect. Why? Expected I32 found result. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Okay. That's a result. I think I know what's happening, or probably I don't. Okay, this is a result, but then why? Probably read the errors a little bit better. Expected. Oh, that is clearly because of this. What if I do a cargo C now? I'm just gonna say result I32 error. It's gonna return a result. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to, oh, this is bad. I think I'll have to do this. Error from, oh god, okay. Well, this seems to be working. But is there still an error? Cargo C? Oh, there's still an error. God. Okay. Okay, so I'll probably have to do the same thing here. Oh my god. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. Yeah, this seems to be working. Can convert identifier case division. So should I have a snake case name? Yeah, I don't care about this. We know we don't need to match it. P FE. So okay, so cargo C. Okay, everything's run. Okay, that works. And then if I do like this, it's gonna say so it's gonna say not a number, so I'll probably improve that part a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is not a number, so that. Okay, yeah, cool. So now if I say A, it's gonna say A is not a number. Okay, cool. But I don't like the way this is looking. What we can do is this, the question mark operator. So I can do split question mark and then parse question mark and then save div question mark. Will this work? Try wrapping. Okay, so if everything goes well, then it's okay. This also should work. Great. Okay, this works. This actually works, but I don't kind of like this. But anyway, so the question mark operator basically works only if the return type, if the error type of this result, so split returns a result of type what? Split error, but the question mark will still be able to convert that into an error because of the fact that we have given that implementation, right? Because we have said that from the split error, you can convert to error in this way. So question mark actually calls that implementation when it's trying to convert the error type of split into the error type that the perform returns. So what's happening here? So the question mark operator, if the result is an okay, right? If the, or even, let's not talk about options right now. So if the result is an okay, the question mark operator gets me the value of the thing inside the okay. If it's an error, then it just exits the function with the result of error variant. But for that to work, the errors that the function returns, for example, split, the error that the function, let's say split returned an error variant, and split's error variant is what? Split's error variant is split error. So we know, let's say now split returned the error variant containing split error, and the question mark operator now decides to actually exit the function by returning that error variant from the function perform. But it cannot do that readily because it would not know how to convert that split error into the error type of this function. It's not bound to the function. Sorry, it doesn't know how to convert. It wouldn't know how to convert the split error to this error had we not given the implementation of the from trait for our type. So you can see that here. So now it's working. It's working just fine, right? So let's say 5a comma a. So 5a is not a number, and let's also give it like happy values. 5.8 is gonna be 580, right? We're doing integer division, that's fine. Everything's working, but if I take away the implementation of the from trait, right, it's gonna start complaining. It's gonna start complaining. So question mark, right? It's gonna say question mark. The trait from parse error is not implemented for error, right? The question mark. If our parse function, so if you look at what I deleted, I think I deleted the parse implementation. Yeah, so I deleted this parse error conversion. So it's going to complain about parse error not being able to be converted into the error, right? So it's saying question mark cannot do this early exit because it doesn't know how to convert parse error into error. So if you implement this, you can use the question mark operator like this to just propagate the error, right? So to expand a little bit more about the question mark operator, it's like saying if I match on split, and the value is input, right? And then if it's an okay of value, okay of pair, then it's going to be a pair. So let pair equals this. If it's an error variant, then it's going to be like return error of e.into. I do need to do the into because value moved here. Yeah, don't worry about that. But this is basically what question mark does. So these three lines are equivalent to writing let pair equals split of input and then question mark. That's exactly it. So question mark removes this boilerplate of matching on a result and propagating the error, and it also intelligently maybe converts the error type if it needs, right? But for it to work, we also need to provide the conversion. Like, how do you convert a split error into an error? We gave that, right? So since we gave that, everything works. So maybe if I could, well, that's about the concepts I had for the stream. Like, if you want it to be, probably this is more readable. I'll just say string pair equals split of input, and I have to do a question mark, and then let int pair equals parse of string pair, another question mark, and then let result equals div of int pair a question mark, right? Yeah, okay. So wait, so question mark, and here I'll just return OK of res, right? Cannot find, oh, it's safe div, right? And if I run our function, all of them work, right? It's still saying something about performer, that code performer is never used. Performer never used. Function performance never used. Oh, sorry, oh, I hadn't been running this test for so long. Sorry. Oh my god. Okay, cargo T. Beautiful. Everything works. So, yeah. This is a one-liner, but if you want it to be a little more, if you wanted to look at the intermediates, you probably would have done it this way, but I'm okay with this. But yeah, that was way longer than I thought it would be. I guess I'm done with my stream. So, thanks everyone who joined the stream. I hope it was helpful. I'll probably do more of these in the coming days. Cool. Have a good night.